Peace and love, family. It's Alqamar coming to you from Arusha, Tanzania. And I'm here to chat a little bit with you about the misconceptions about traveling here to Africa that I've been hearing. So I've been listening to some of the online chatter as it relates to the difficulties of traveling here. So there was a comparison done recently that I stumbled across online where someone was comparing us from America traveling over to Europe and other places like that and spending our money with these European nations leisurely. And what that says when we skip over Africa, we don't come here at all, don't have any interest in coming here at all, and we take all our resources over to other Western nations and assist them in becoming even more strong and powerful. So some of the misconceptions that I hear out there is that, oh, it's too expensive to travel to Africa. The distance is too long of a distance. And I even think there is still some strong misconceptions about a luxury vacation here in Africa. And even though it's 2025 and we have the World Wide Web at our fingertips, and we have all kind of content creators that travel to Africa all the time, work here and live here, and are sharing with all the rest of us a lot of Africa that we didn't even realize existed until recent times. There are still some of us out there that believe that Africa is just all woods and hut and animal bush and things like that. They don't realize that they can get a 5-star luxurious vacation right here in Africa. Some of us still think missionary work when it's time to come to Africa, and there's nothing wrong with helping and supporting some of the locals that don't have a lot of the resources that you and I do, but you can really come to Africa and have a luxurious vacation on pennies on a dollar in comparison to a lot of these other European nations. So Europeans stick together, hence the European Union. And a lot of what they do is to support one another. And I find that in these days and times of boycotting major corporations like the Walmarts and the Targets of the world and the Starbucks, and we're withholding our resources for reasons that we feel is oppressive, we in turn take those same resources and go and travel abroad to some of these European Union nations, and we give them the same resources that we're withholding from their cousins. And so there are Africans and Black people who look like us and that who reside in some of these European nations that we go and spend our money in that are being oppressed, right? And so it's almost like taking apples out of one basket of the owners of the whole apple grove, and we're taking them and we're putting them in another basket of the same owners of the same apple grove. It's just across the ocean. And so I just implore us to just be more conscientious of how we spend our dollars. This is our own lives to live. I understand that, we all have free will. We all have our own personal desires, and we can choose to do whatever we want with our hard-earned money and resources. But I think that oftentimes a lot of us will complain about our plight in the world and our condition and how we're treated, but then we support those who have the most power to oppress. We support those same powers with our hard-earned money, and especially when we make decisions to go and leisurely travel to some of these Western nations that actually help to oppress us. Some of the benefits of considering Africa as a destination vacation is the cost of living in most African societies is extremely affordable. So I think, you could probably spend 25% of what you would spend in some of these very expensive European nations traveling there. You can only spend about a quarter of your money here in Africa and get the same type of luxury in a vacation. The food prices, accommodations, entertainment, things like that, all of that is extremely affordable in most African nations, not to mention the treatment, just the quality of customer service you receive and the treatment that you get of just feeling like you're home. You're amongst people who look like you, have similar cultures as your own. They welcome you and love to see you come. A lot of that are the benefits of choosing a African nation to travel to. Now, I will admit the plane ride can be grueling on the body to some. For me, I'm used to it because they have so many things these days on the planes that keep you occupied, and play music and play games and watch movies. You walk around. So there's different things that can be done on the planes to help occupy your time. But it is a long flight to Africa, especially if you're considering the eastern shores of Africa. The flight's a little faster getting to West Africa than this side of Africa. However, that is a lot of that is changing as well. Oftentimes the flights are as long as they are because the the monopoly that a lot of the Western nations have on international aviation. And so the flights, they can then, when they have the monopoly and they have the control, they can then choose where these layovers are going to take place. And of course, if you have the domination and control and can choose where, you're going to help support your cousins and your family members. Most anybody would do that, and they do the exact same thing. So a lot of the layovers are in other European nations because that helps bring money into those economies. And sometimes that can be off the straight path of getting from America straight to Africa. And so when we make a conscientious effort to bring our resources back home to Africa, we help encourage and build up those resources to be able to change those dynamics. So I just implore us to just be more conscious of where we spend our money. And of course, we have the freedom to do whatever we want with our money. But I think that if we're complaining about how our plight in the world and our conditions as a people, as it relates to the rest of the world, but yet and still we're taking all of our resources and dumping it into the same and building up these other nations that we're complaining about, well, then we're kind of helping to oppress our own selves. And so I just implore us to just be more mindful, even when we're traveling, where our money is going and what it's going towards. So with all that being said, if you are interested in a vacation to Tanzania in specific, then reach out to me. Reach out to me. I can assist you. I'm on the ground here. There's a lot of other people like me on the ground here, and we are here to serve. So we can assist you in holding your hand when you get here, even as a solo traveler and an adventurer. And maybe you just need some advice and counsel on where to go and where to stay and where to eat and different entertainment and things like that. Give us a ring. We are here to support. And I also have a Patreon page that I welcome you all to join as members, where I take my journey here in Africa and I document it. And so you can get a lot of valuable information on that page as well. And I'll put the link down below. And if any of this information resonated with you, please, family, subscribe to the channel and share the information. You never know who's on the other side of that share that can use the information that is being given here today. So share, family, what are your thoughts? What are your opinions on the matter? Please comment below. I'm very interested in reading what you have to say. All right, family, take care of each other out there. Peace.
You can't do everything ain't what it seems in Africa.